Please give this content a thumbs up by hitting the like button. And subscribe to the channel to get notification of further content regarding GCC past examinations questions and solutions. Questions and Solutions, the Act. June 2019 Examination. Question 1. 1.1. Define the following terms given in the Occupational Health and Safety Act. Chief Executive Officer, CEO. Mean a person who is responsible for overall management and control of the business. Employee. Means any person who is employed by or works for the employer and receives remuneration. Sell. Means offer or display for sale or import into the public for sale. Also includes exchange, donate, lease or display for leasing. 1.2. Every employee shall at work carry out any lawful order given to him, and obey the health and safety rules and procedures laid down by his employer in the interest of health or safety. State 2 other general duties of employees at work. Solution from Section 14 of the Act. 1. Take reasonable care for the health and safety of himself and other persons who may be affected by his acts or omissions. 2. Report any unsafe or unhealthy situation to the employer or health and safety rep as soon as he becomes aware of it. 1.3. In terms of the Act, the Chief Executive Officer, CEO, is charged with certain duties. 1.3.1. Name the duties of the CEO. Solution from Section 16 of the Act. Ensure that the duties of his employer as contemplated in the Act are properly discharged as far as reasonable practicable. 1.3.2. May the CEO assign these duties? Motivate your answer. Solution from Section 16 of the Act. The CEO may assign his duties to any person under his control, which the person shall act subject to the directions and control of the CEO. Question 2. 2.1, subsection 8, 1, is a general requirement of an employer to provide and maintain, as far as is reasonably practicable, a working environment that is safe and without risk to the health of his or her employees. Subsection 8, 2, determines that, without derogating from the generality of the employer's duties under subsection 1, the matters to which those duties refer include in particular a number of functions. Name 3 of these functions. 1. Provide and maintain systems of work, plant, or machinery that are safe and without risk to health. 2. Take steps to eliminate hazards to safety or health of employees before resorting to PPE. 3. Ensure safety and absence of risk to health in connection with production, processing, handling, storage or transport of substances or articles. 2.2. Every employer has a duty to make every employee conversant with the hazards to his or her health and safety while at work and also to inform health and safety representatives beforehand of specific aspects whereby inspectors of the Department of Labor are involved. Name these aspects. Solution from Section 13 of the Act. The aspects includes inspections, investigations, formal inquiries, and any application for exemptions made by employer. Occurrence of incident in the workplace. 2.3. Describe 2 functions which a Health and Safety Committee has to perform other than the requirement that the committee has to hold a meeting once in 3 months. Solution from Section 20 of the Act. Health and Safety Committee shall discuss any incident at the workplace or section thereof in which or in consequence of which any person was injured, became ill or died, and may in writing report on the incident to an inspector. Health and Safety Committee shall keep record of each recommendation made to an employer in terms of subsection 1a, and of any report made to an inspector in terms of subsection 1b. November 2019 Examination. Question 1. 1.1 Define the following terms as given in the Act. Occupational Health Practitioner. Means an occupational medicine practitioner or a person who hold a qualification in occupational health recognized as such in MDSHSP Act. Occupational Medical Practitioner. Means medical practitioner as defined in Medical Dental Supplementary Health Service Professionals Act who hold an occupational medicine qualification or an recognized equivalent qualification. 1.2 Every employer has a general duty to his employees to provide and maintain, as far as is reasonably practicable, a working environment that is safe and without risk to their health. 1.2.1 What general duty has an employer or self-employed person to persons other than their employees? Solution from Section 9 of the Act. Every employer or self-employed person shall conduct his undertaking in such a manner as to ensure, as far as is reasonably practicable, that persons other than those in his employment who may be directly affected by his activities are not thereby exposed to hazards to their health or safety. 1.2.2 What general duty has a person who designs, manufactures, or imports any article for use at work? Solution from Section 10(1) of the Act. Any person who designs, manufactures, imports, sells or supplies any article for use at work shall ensure, as far as is reasonably practicable, that the article is safe and without risks to health when properly used and that it complies with all prescribed requirements. 1.2.3 What general duty has a person who erects or installs any article for use at work on or in a premises? Solution from Section 10(2) of the Act. Any person who erects or installs any article for use at work on or in any premises shall ensure, as far as is reasonably practicable, that nothing about the manner in which it is erected or installed makes it unsafe or creates a risk to health when properly used. 1.3 Without derogating from any specific duty imposed on an employer by this Act, every employer shall, as far as is reasonably practicable, cause every employee to be made conversant with the hazards to his health and safety attached to any work which he has to perform, any article or substance which he has to produce, process, use, handle, store or transport, and any plant or machinery which he is required or permitted to use, as well as with the precautionary measures which should be taken and observed with respect to those hazards. Name 2 cases of which you have to inform the health and safety representatives. Solution from Section 13 of the Act. This includes inspections, investigations, formal inquiries, and any application for exemptions made by employer. The occurrence of incident in the workplace. Question 2. 2.1 Name 2 general duties of an employee at work other than reporting when involved in an incident. Solution from Section 14 of the Act. 1. Take reasonable care for the health and safety of himself and other persons who may be affected by his acts or omissions. 2. Employee shall at work carry out any lawful order given to him, and obey the health and safety rules and procedures laid down by his employer in the interest of health or safety. 2.2 What are the duties of an employee with regard to any item provided in the interest of health or safety? Solution from Section 14 of the Act. Employees shall not interfere, damage or misuse anything provided in the interest of health and safety. 2.3 What are the duties of the Chief Executive Officer? Solution from Section 16 of the Act. Ensure that the duties of his employer as contemplated in the Act are properly discharged as far as reasonable practicable. 2.4 At what stage must an employer designate health and safety representatives? Solution from Section 17 of the Act. When 20 or more people are employed at workplace. 2.5 Who shall be eligible for designation as health and safety representatives for a workplace or section thereof? Solution from Section 17 of the Act. Persons employed in a full-time capacity, and shall be acquainted with conditions and activities at the workplace. 2.6 What number of health and safety representatives for a workplace or section thereof shall be designated in the case of shops and offices? Solution from Section 17 of the Act. In case of shops and offices, at least one health and safety rep for every 100 people. 2.7 What number of health and safety representatives shall be designated for a workplace or section thereof other than shops and offices? Solution from Section 17 of the Act. In case of workplace other than shops and offices, one health and safety rep for every 50 employees. 2.8 How will you determine the number of health and safety representatives you have to designate where a large number of employees perform work at a workplace other than that where they ordinarily report for duty? Solution from Section 17 of the Act. The employees shall be deemed to be working at a place where they ordinarily report for duty. 2.9 When must you establish a Health and Safety Committee? Solution from Section 19 of the Act. When there is 2 or more health and safety reps designated in a particular workplace. The end of questions and recommended solutions for Legal Knowledge Exams Year 2019. Thank you.